Welcome in, everyone, to episode 86 of Coffee and Chel. We are back after the holidays, after a little bit over 2 week hiatus. Dealt with some medical issues with my man Padre, so glad that that's all cleared up. But definitely needed to take some time away. But today's episode, we are going to cover the holidays, the patch that came out of nowhere that fixed a lot of the issues. Well, at least a lot of the ones that a lot of people were complaining about. Nations event as a whole, the free cards that we got from the holiday, which have been pretty nuts, and then we'll talk a little bit about GWC and preparing for it as the registration did go out. So, as I alluded to, we had to take a little bit of a break. Padre, has your life calmed down a little bit after the holidays, my man?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, my son got RSV, and we had to go to the ICU for 2.5 days. So it was pretty scary. It was
Good
intense.
lord.
I never thought that I'd be in that situation. Just seeing him all hooked up to the oxygen stuff was pretty scary. It's just not something I ever thought would happen. Just because I don't know. You just never think about that stuff, obviously. But yeah, and then my daughter. I'm pretty sure she got it. The problem is we have these things in the States, and I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have something similar. It's called like an urgent care. And when our primary care doctors are like full, like we have nowhere else to like go. So it's like we either go there or the ER. And we were taking him to the urgent care, and the urgent care was telling us like, oh no, he doesn't have RSV. Then all of a sudden he did have it. And it was like, so
No.
they like tested him wrong. So like we went home for it. I mean, he was down pretty bad. So I've been like last Friday, the Friday before last Friday. Sorry, this is on a what day are we? Like freaking Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, yeah.
So yeah, my whole schedule's thrown off. So this has been going on for like 2 weeks, and we went home and he was like low on oxygen. I came home from work, like I went to work and came like right back pretty much, and then like I came home and he looked like like I don't even know how to describe like death almost like the way
Yeah.
he wasn't. I'm not saying he was going to die. I just meant like
Yeah. He's
red
really
alarm.
pale.
RSV is super serious, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to call an ambulance, which was like my wife was. She said she kind of panicked, but at the same time, it's like she didn't want to go to the hospital and like be driving with him in the back seat and just be like, all right, like
Yeah.
he's fine back there when you can't see him. And so we called that and we went to the ER. They gave us some oxygen stuff. Then they sent us back home. Well, the next day, same kind of thing. He looked bad again, and I'm like, we need to go back and we need to get like admitted. Like we need to get him like right. And
Yeah.
luckily they did. He still has some like congestion right now, and they said it'd be like a little bit before he gets like fully going. And he's starting to get like his personality back finally now, where he like before he was kind of like not really chipper or do anything. And my daughter, same kind of thing. Like she had a bunch of congestion and she had it too, but she's 4, so she was able to fight it off a little easier. But yeah, it's just been like nonstop, man. It's like waking up middle of the night, fevers, throwing up. I mean, I made a joke last week, like or not a joke, but I was playing my champs games like late at night just to kind of try to take my mind off everything, and I had to like quit it out of a game like mid game because I was like the kid starts throwing up. I'm like, oh, all right, see, I got to go upstairs, and it's like So I pretty much last week I was telling you I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to play my champs games even though like it's a mess. I'm like, but I'm probably gonna get some losses because I don't know like or just because you get kicked from whatever the game is
Oh
from
yeah.
inactivity. So yeah, it was just a mess. So like, yeah, we didn't get to do any of the typical Christmas stuff. No get-togethers. We've been like I feel like I'm in prison kind of at home. So tomorrow I'm going back to work finally. So it'll be kind of nice to like just get back into the mix. And then now I got something. I'm all
Yeah.
congested. My eyes. I mean, it's kind of hard to see. I got like my
Did you
eyes like.
always get something with your eyes, eh?
Well, so the last 2 times I've been sick, I've been getting like pink eye. I know everyone makes the jokes like, oh, I get it. Like, but for some reason, I like it's all connected, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
like your head and your sinuses and like my eyes get like the goop or whatever, and I don't know. Like the last 2 times I've been sick, it's like gone in like my eyes, and it looks like I'm like deaf, and I'm
Dude.
like I'm not sure like why it does, but yeah. So that's getting better. So I feel better today, but yeah, I'll be back to work tomorrow. But yeah, it's been a mess.
I'm
So
glad
hopefully
that
your
good to
guys,
see that
Fisher's
you're
all
over the
right.
hump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see
yeah,
that
hopefully your
Fisher's all right.
guys' stuff went better than ours.
What about you, Brent? How did it go?
I mean, we managed to get through scot-free with illness because last year I was the one going through with my whole like household being just down horrendous. Like everyone had the flu but me, so everybody ate turkey dinner in their own bed.
Oh,
Oh
geez.
no.
And that was when my in-laws were living in my basement suite at the time too. They were all absolutely torched, so they were all like in bed. And it was just me sitting alone at the table eating turkey dinner
It's like the
by
saddest
myself.
picture.
I was like, well, I might as well grab the food first because no one else is
You
hungry.
beat the line, huh? Oh my
Yeah, but
god.
this year I had to run the gauntlet because like I come from like my wife's family is divorced parents. I have divorced
Same.
parents, so it's like going through it's like jumping through house to house to house to house, like making sure that everybody's happy because they all want to see the kids. And so now even like this weekend, when I go over to to Victoria in order to see like my mother-in-law's side of the family, it's just so it was like getting through Christmas is like just like at the end of the day, it's like you take a deep breath, you go, oh my God, thank God it's over.
Dude, I
But the
feel
amount
that,
of
man.
garbage too, the amount of garbage, like
Oh,
they
yeah,
just
opening
piled
presents.
up. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
crazy.
I didn't have to do with any of that yet. Landon can't really open presents, so he got like a bunch of stuff. He got like a Jolly Jumper kind of thing. I guess that's like banned. Like the actual Jolly Jumper's like not good.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah,
I
like
have it.
yeah, no, like it came. Like, I guess so. We got one that like he can like kind of stand on his tippy toes, but he can't jump, whatever. But he loved that, and I opened up my first box of Pokemon cards that I got him, and I was gonna do that every Christmas. Dude, I pulled the second rarest card in the set, which is pretty sick. Got it on video with him. He doesn't know what's going on, but I put it in like this extra huge like plastic case so you could like hold on to it and like put it in his mouth. So, hey, it was good. I
Nice.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And yeah, no one got sick, thankfully. But no, I'm saying with you, like my wife's family's divorced parents, I've got divorced parents, so it's like 3 days in a row of like doing stuff, which is nice. And then it's like, okay, like my Christmas tree will be down tonight. Like it's like over. Bah
Oh, I
humbug.
already got mine down. I
Yeah.
did it yesterday. I put everything back in the shed. I'm like, get
Yep.
this shit out of my living room.
Yeah. Last thing before we get into the hut stuff, for all of our older folk out here, what do you guys do on New Year's? And does it always suck? Because I think it's the most overrated holiday evening of the entire year.
Well, for me, it's usually like just I stay at home with the kids and like I
Yeah.
let my wife go out because like she's the
Oh,
one that's like cooped up in the house all
okay.
year long. Like, so I'm like, hey, this is the one night where it's like she cares about New Year's more than I do. I really don't care either. So I'm like, hey, you want to go with friends? I'll watch the kids, no problem. I'll stay home. It'll be the same thing this year, but last year she stayed home when I streamed that night, and it was like one of the most bonkers streams I've ever had.
Did you get in the
So,
sauce a little bit?
no. I mean, okay, a little bit. Beforehand, I was a little buzzed, and then everyone was having a good time. Everyone else is up. Like East guys were up at like 4 or 5 a.m. watching me try to get Wayne Gretzky back when, like, remember last year when it was
Oh,
so
yeah,
hard.
dude.
It was that set where you had to like hope to hell that you actually pulled the right card.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there and like it was like getting Gordie Howe after Gordie
Oh,
Howe
yeah.
after Gordie Howe. And I finally got the Messier I needed.
Dude, what about you, Stu? What are you doing New Year's?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of thinking it's a little overrated, but obviously I don't booze so it doesn't
Ever.
really, like, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, like at my age, it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm not gonna go get like a babysitter for the entire night. Me and Alex are just gonna like go out or something. So it's just like I don't. It's whatever. It's another day too, because it's just like I work like I think I work New Year's Eve. Yeah.
No, it's Sunday.
Yeah. Or
New
no,
Year's
it's so
Day.
it's Sunday this year. So normally I think we work New Year's Eve if it's like a normal weekday, but then New Year's Day we don't work.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why it feels like a normal day for me, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. It starts on a
But-
Monday, which is nice and clean for the New Year's resolutioners. I don't know. I love like clean, even dates and weeks. I don't know why. I'm a massive OCD. It's nice to look at on the calendar where Monday is the
Right.
one. All right. That's enough. All right. As we gain everyone back, welcome back in. All right. Now we will discuss Hockey Ultimate Team. We've been gone for like 3 weeks. I mean, everything has gone absolutely nuts. I mean, Padres wearing a Montreal Canadian sweater. So let's discuss the patch that I personally didn't even know about. I feel like now, like maybe other game changers know, because I think like some people have closer relationships with some devs and things like that. And I just talked to mostly the content team and guys and the hut ones. I didn't really know there was a patch coming. And I welcomed pretty much everything that was in there. It's not a perfect game, but I think that if you were to take what we got at the launch to what we got now, pretty decent game, like in comparison to 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, 23 is not a good game to be comparable to. If it's
That's
like,
the only
look at
way.
this, it's like,
Yeah.
look, this game is pretty good, but you're compared to a pile of garbage.
Yes, yeah. You can only compare sports games. Whenever I do a debate about like what's the best sports game, you can only compare it really year over year, because like, like graphically and like the stuff that's put in and things like that. Like NHL 16 or 17 is not better than 24, and 14 I know everyone loves. But if you went back and every menu took 35 seconds, oh, that's a bad example because that every menu in 24 sucks too. All right, maybe not, but nonetheless, like compared to what we had, I think that they've made some decent strides. So let's talk about some of the things that they added in. The wheels boost, which I do not know why that was done. How do you guys have you guys used any cards with it? Do you like it? What's the feedback there?
Well, my guess here is that they probably took a look at the numbers and saw that because the cost allocations related to usage, they probably saw that wheels was not getting nearly enough usage to be worth 10 or 5 points.
My guess too.
So they gave it that boost in order to make the 10, because they don't want to change the actual number, or else you're gonna hear it from Reddit again. So
No.
so they want to keep the price the same, but then buff it a little bit so that it actually is worth 10 points, which it seems to be on guys that have the custom strides that it made them like super good, but on guys that don't have it, like Medano, I didn't really notice it, and I'd still just prefer
Really?
like using like edges on him. Yeah.
Interesting. I think that we're at a stage right now where if you have someone that has gold wheels and silver elite edges, because one of the things that elite edges does that I think isn't talked about enough is that you keep your speed going left and right immediately, like when you're taking current corners, and I think maybe that would be. I've noticed I noticed Medano when it first came out, but now there's a lot of faster cards. Like that Jack Hughes is so annoying to deal with, man. Like it's exactly what's coming, and same with McDavid. When you see the gold wheels light up, like that this person is literally gonna go one way, and there's like very little to stop it. But what's what's your take on it, Padre?
I I don't mind them buffing or I guess bumping it up, whatever, just because like he said, like it's 10 AP, so it's gotta be like worth your cost, obviously, or like worth you putting it on.
Mm-hmm.
Because like 10 AP is a lot,
It
obviously.
is, yeah. 1/6.
I'm kind of with Brent. I'm only putting it on guys like McDavid, Eichel, and McKinnon. I know Natchez has it and Medano has it. I didn't notice it much on Medano, and Natchez. I don't know. I don't I don't see it being like worth putting two guys having it because I have the McDavid also. Um, Going on top of that, like another skating thing they did, they bumped everything by 2%. So like the puck carrier and the I think skating
Skating
backwards.
backwards.
That was the thing and this is my big. I was talking to you guys about it, like, and I don't know, like maybe it's just because I was just like flustered all week and impatient just because of everything that was going on, and my brain wasn't like. I just felt like the game was so fast that
It was
it was
very
like
fast.
it's too quick. Not
Okay.
like that I up or something because it's like you're gonna have to like learn, but it's just like when you make it quicker, the bounces increase, the RNG increases, the goofiness increases. You get clipped by a guy. Like I felt like this weekend personally, McDavid was less effective
Mm.
because of the speed, because the guys like Medano were more effective because they're big. I felt like I noticed myself getting clipped a lot with guys like McDavid or McCarr or just like the smaller, fast guys. Maybe like I don't have Jack Hughes. I don't know if Brent, I know you have him, but like, those kind of guys, I felt like they weren't as effective. Not like their skating wasn't as effective, but like if there was like so many hits because of the speed, I feel like there was so much hitting. The game was so fast. I felt like I was playing on speed. And I don't know if this is what annoyed me. I know for a fact you two and a lot of my friends that play it high level, no one complained about the game being slow. So I don't know why they felt the need to make it faster. Tune the gold wheels, that's fine. No one bitched about the game being slow. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
Brent,
it was a
did
little
you-
odd. It was a little odd that it changed there.
Yeah, there's been we haven't brought up a single thing about speed
No.
all year, but I think also to do with the fact we're old.
Yep.
We don't have a faster game does not help us
Older
three
people,
at
yeah.
all.
Oh, and real quick,
It really doesn't.
I talked to some sixes guys, and a lot of them, I think one of you or somebody said before, like this patch seems like it was a sixes patch. And I talked to the sixes guys, and they're like, it actually made sixes way better. So like maybe this was
Interesting.
more for ESHL people because we have our fine game again that has to play the same for 3 or 4 different modes. This is a perfect example of why we need separate 1v1
That's
ESHL offline. That's why we need 3 separate.
That's a good point, because I know one of the bigger complaints, at least from what I see in the Game Changer chat from like the Sixes guys, I don't comment on Sixes in the Game Changer chat. I think it's dumb for me because I don't play it. Is that one of the bigger issues has always been that the players that you build, like your builds, are so low rated that like, you know, like doing deeks and things like that, like you've got really low ratings, and increasing skating would probably help that out a little bit. So I could see that being one.
It's just annoying because no offense, but like it affects.
It affects.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
What did you guys think of the penalties? Did you see a lot of them still? I didn't. I didn't see it.
It's not as bad.
No.
It's still like there's still I will still on stream most likely like still 5 or 6 times a night
Really?
in a 4-hour stream. We'll end up bitching about the ref. I'll yell at the ref a little bit, but it's not as bad as me doing it 2 or 3 times a game. Like the boarding is definitely significantly reduced, which is nice.
Yeah.
Charging is
I've gotten a few charging.
charging is still I don't know.
Well,
They kind of missed a little bit on patching it properly, but it's not as horrible. It's like when we went from like a 8 out of 10 horrible to a 4 out of 10 horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
Yeah, why were we ever at 15 for the penalties? It said we
I
went from
don't
15
know if that is like how like the scale and like that rating. I don't know why they released the number.
Now it made it
like,
look even
what the
worse,
hell's
right?
max? What
Because-
the hell's
Yeah,
max number
that-
anyway?
Because
Yeah.
this is the second time they've tuned penalties. So what was it before? It was 15. Was it 20? Like, good God! Like,
But I don't know if it's out of 100 is what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
What does it even fucking mean? Like,
That's what I mean.
Change the number. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, we don't know
Here,
what the fuck.
take it-
What the heck that
no,
even
it's
means.
let it fly.
Put it
brother.
from 15. Put it from 15 to 1. How about that? Or 1.5. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
good God! Now we're at 5, guys. We're at 5. So
It is crazy the influence that like last year they just let the game be the game, and this year like they walk back a lot of what they put out at launch, and I don't like you listen to the community can't like argue with that. At least like it's slowly going. The one I bring up is the presentation, man. So they put some resources into making these like cinematics, and they're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna give the option to not see them. It's like, then why would you spend all the time and effort to put them in? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing that.
Focus group they used for that kind of stuff, but no one wanted that.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone. There's some silly stuff that they put their resources into for this game, which they've had to walk back as people are like, I don't care about my guy selling with the spotlight on him.
Yeah, presentation is something, because like I've said this a number of times that like whenever I see things like that, I even said it at launch. I think I even said it in Vancouver when I was there. Is that like the video game is played by people that are much older? I think I would love to see I would hazard a guess that 25 to 35 is by far the most played age group. And I don't know, like I feel like hockey is a very traditional sport in the sense that we want to see a normal broadcast, the normal sellies, and how you get like, don't give us the flashing lights and the, you know what I mean? Like, just want to see something that looks like, I miss NBC, which sounds so dumb, but I miss that. And you know, like I think that like that kind of just goes into, it's an older player base. Like if you play franchise mode, and tons of people play franchise mode, they don't want the gimmicky stuff. They want to see they want it to be like, you know, what they would see in TV. So yeah, that might just
kind of like it's the whole thing of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's so simple that there's things that like, okay, this leads into like how the AI play post patch, which I think has been an issue for me and a few other guys that I've noticed. The one thing is that step up that your D-men do this year.
I think that's because of full out attack.
it's
I'm
not.
sure. I think it's everybody. I think it's
on D-zone lead. It's on conservative. I sent in 5 clips to one of the devs, and Brent, I know where you're coming from.
What attack? No, wait. Before you go any further, what meter are you talking about?
Like I could be playing on. Yeah, I could be playing on. I could be playing on no forecheck, defensive lead, the bar all the way to the trap side. I could be playing all the way back, and it's this random thing where you're like this.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And they just go like this for 2 seconds, and then they're caught.
And they do a turn, and they do it like a turn instead of like just pivoting back.
And even when you switch, Brent, would you agree with this? When you switch, like you hit the switch player button, your guy has that like gravitational force where it still like pulls you. You have no control over your
Yep.
guy. Like
Oh,
you
yes.
can't do any. Even if
100%.
you switch as quick as you can or you
Mhm.
tap this guy, it doesn't matter. Like
It's causing a lot of
that's one of
issues.
it's one of my biggest bugaboos with this game is that what you just said, Brent.
Yeah, because like we complained about last year's game being terrible, but one thing we did not complain about was in ones your AI players, goalies, different story. AI players were not the problem. If anything, AI players in 23 were pretty good because your guys would, depending on your sliders, your guys would cut the way that you put the sliders on, like with behind the net. You could run different plays with
Oh,
your
yeah,
guys
yeah.
cutting towards the net. There was ways you can anticipate. It's not like because people will say, "Oh, you're manipulating your AI," and I'm not saying manipulating. I'm saying
There should be some
there's ways that you can-
predictability of a strategy.
like if I go from like my left forward to my center, who's standing at the top of the circle, that guy that that gave the pass will now cut towards the net down low, and you can do like a give and go. Whereas this year they don't move. Like it doesn't matter what sliders are on. If you're on over low behind the net crash, your guys are kind of like stagnant, which then also is a problem with this year they created. It seems to be that on offense, if your D-man gets brought down low, your forward will come up to compensate for that this year a lot more, but he doesn't drop back down. He will stay up and you'll be playing a 2-3 offense where that forward that came back to cover for the D-man is now just sitting in between your 2D, not doing anything.
Yep.
And
I've
so
seen that.
that wasn't in the game last year. These step ups were in the game last year. I don't know if it's to do with the AI logic. Maybe they've implemented something new, but there's something a little wonky with how it plays in this game, which, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. AI was like pretty good last year, and now it's one of the most frustrating parts about 24.
Yeah, the step up thing I've noticed it a few times is like I manually control my defense in the second I lose the puck. Like I right stick click in switch. So wasn't noticing it a lot because I immediately take control of my back defenseman, which isn't something that you should do, but it's just what I do. So I wasn't noticing it, and then it literally cost me a game. I wasn't paying attention, and my guy just stopped. Like he literally just stops, and I don't know what would cause that, but. Yeah, that one is that one's a little tough, little annoying there, but hopefully they figure out a fix for it. Do you like so far like full pressure feels fine? Like I think
I,
that's
I
I'm
still
fine
I
with
still
pressure right now.
I still think it needs to be tuned. There's
what
two
it tuned
things that
how?
it's not horrible. It just
Oh,
please
I know where
stop
you're going.
rewarding
Yeah.
please stop rewarding idiots for coming in and flicking a shot at net and saying,
Oh yeah,
"Whoop,
yeah.
great shot.
Yeah.
One more, great
hmm
full pressure." Or if you're gonna do the little turd shot, it feels like every time they do the little turd shot, they always get the puck back. I don't know how, but they always do.
Your
In
defenseman
real
have like
life,
a negative buff or something. Cause I know
yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. You never get
So
the puck back on a
Yeah.
rebound.
either make the D almost always get it if you're going to make the bar go all the way up, or make the bar go all the way down. One of the two, or make it so your goalie, in real life, if a goalie gets a shot from that far away coming in the blue line,
He's
it's an easy save. Either
stopping it.
cover it, shoot it to the corner, stop it, play it. There's no chance the goalie's like shooting it right back to the other team. Like, so I'm so sick of watching that because there's certain players that I know, and and that's fine. It's in the game, so abuse it. But it's like come in, flick a turd, great shot, skate around for boom, full pressure. Or
Especially if
like
they do get possession, you go and body check them, and you're at 75%.
Yeah, because the
now.
forecheck counts. Yeah, you
You
get the forecheck.
great
Yeah.
hit. You get the great hit one, and then
yeah,
the puck
so
retrieval one too.
it's just like either make it so the bar doesn't go all the way up, make it go up like maybe 2 notches, or just don't like. I cannot believe it says great shot. That makes me like want to scream when I see that. I'm like great shot.
You know,
okay.
I feel like the philosophy this year was definitely figure out a way to make the game have a more realistic statistical finish, but they do it in a very arcade way. We've been saying that since the start. Like the full pressure meter, if it was not shown, is sort of what happens in real life to an extent, but the bar and everything like that is like just that's so arcadey. Like that's nothing like the sport. But your guys get tired when they're stuck out on the ice, and you know what I mean. Like one team's just hemming them in. You watch like Colorado's first line against any team essentially. Like that's sort of what happens to an extent. But obviously, seeing the bar and all of that is very ridiculous. That being said, dude, do you guys still play the puck with your goalie? I'm done. I am
Depends.
almost positive that in the real game, when a goalie gets the possession of the puck, very rarely will a goalie play the puck. Like think about like the instances, maybe like in what Stewie just said.
98% of the time.
Yeah, when Stewie, when you fire a puck in off the rush and there's two defensemen back and they get it, they won't send it in the corner. They'll catch it and then put it down and paddle it behind the net or give it to the defenseman. But very rarely do you ever see a goalie play the puck. And I think, unless this is a latency issue on PlayStation, and it very well could be, but I have given up more dunk goals, and even worse, you give up the puck, and if your AI does not, if your player does not get it, that's a forecheck 75%. Like, it's almost always full pressure if they don't score and they get the puck back off of it. So I've just stopped. Like, I think that they have done something where they have made it where we don't want anyone playing the puck because that's not realistic. You freeze the puck for a face-off, and that's what happens in the real thing. It's just the way that they've done it is that, like, we're not going to, like, a pass goes, like, 4 miles an hour, and it's, like, a second and a half after you hit the pass button. So I've just literally stopped. I know that I'm very, very good on the face-off, so, like, I just accept it now. But everyone plays so impatient, and we've had years of it. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing or not.
Yeah, like for me personally, I will, if there's a chance of me getting dunked, I do not play the puck.
Yep.
Because I hate getting dunked more than like anything in the game. Like, it's one of my, it'll send me from 0 to 100 on the pissed off scale immediately.
Yep.
At myself. I get mad at myself for it mainly.
I just feel like they've coded it.
If it's a free pass out, for sure I'm passing it out, but it needs to be like a guarantee. If it's like even a 25% chance of me getting dunked, or if they have to go 50-50, they pick a side, I'm like, no, you're not going to get your 50-50 chance of dunking me, not a chance.
Yep. So yeah, I've just completely stopped that. So, all right, let's talk about it. So the captain's event is over. 3-week events are tough, especially with the slow progression. Nations of Hockey came out. Interesting, like, choice. It's 89 overalls. I'll say this about the event. I don't know how they're ever going to walk this line in the format in which Hut releases content in the 2-week event schedule thing that they've done for the last 10 years. But I love the fact that all of the cards are World Junior cards, because it drove me nuts that the Winter National or Nations of Hockey event always represented international play, but there's no international hockey being played that anything else other than the World Juniors. And the World Juniors were always just those cards that go up by 3, whoever wins gold. But the Master Set players and everything like that were always like, they didn't have the rights to the IHF for a long time. But even when they did, in the first year, they made like that Leon Draisaitl, and it was like, all those cards, but they had nothing to do with the World Juniors. So this year, I actually love the event as an idea of it. Like, it's very World Junior centric. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
It's a good event, but the problem is we all have Team of the Year around the corner. So if you know what you're doing, you're probably not going to get baited by this event. Even though, yes, it is a very good event. I wish like cards like this came out in the previous event with like these stats, and I would see people being happier with it to grab them because it's all a month before Team of the Year. But it would be a mistake unless you love the player. If you're a Barkov fan, if you're a Meyer fan, grab your Timo Meyer. If it's your guy, grab your card, because they all have pretty good stats. But like for me, I don't really care. For me, it's just a name on a card. I'm still just gonna wait for Team of the Year and go from there.
The thing I enjoy about it from the card selection standpoint. So Ryan Ellis might be the worst Master Set player item ever released. And we hadn't gotten right defenseman in a while. Like, he's 5'10", I think, and like $170. But if you go back to his World Junior career, and that's what the card is meant to reflect, he had like Thunderclap and 1T, and he scored a couple massive one-timer goals. And I believe he was the captain of Team Canada in his World Junior year. But on top of that, he's got like no body checking, like low defensive awareness, and his skating's only 92, and he's like 5'10", and it's no truculence or anything. So it's very just about like the event and reflecting him, which I actually can appreciate. But I think that everyone is stuck in, especially you guys, because of Team of the Year and the GW or the World Championship as a whole. Those cards are never going to be used. So, but I do love the fact that it's now about the World Junior event. Also, they released like every single World Junior roster player they have rights to, which I got to give them props for. Like, that's actually cool. US got shit on because they don't have the rights, which really sucks because Team USA is definitely the favorite to win gold. But nonetheless, I think that was cool. Also, kind of interesting that all those cards go up by +3, which is massive for fodder. Like, if Sweden wins or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's huge for Team of the Year. I'm taking all of the objectives and the power-up collectibles, and I'm just using them because I need power-up collectibles. I'm not making any of the cards. Not like a huge fan of any of them. I don't know about you, Stu. Same thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make stuff for team of the year. I'm trying to prepare for that as best I can. It's kind of hard to like know. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what I'm gonna do with my collectibles from HUD Champs every week now. Like, do I make like players packs? And some people told me this. I think it was Sky. He's a top player, and he was saying you should open packs now.
Yes.
He goes because when you team of the year, he goes the odds you play team of the year is slim to none, which we've seen that before from our good friend Charles.
Nippin. That's a famous
Yeah.
stream of mine that I don't know if I'll get to do this year. But
Every year he does like he sends all
50
his packs and gets
ultimates 2 years in a row, 0 team of the years.
So then you have like that. Well, and then Junior Pens will open like one ultimate.
Oh yeah,
pull,
they'll
like,
get
3
one.
of them.
Yep.
Of
Right,
course
so-
you will. Classic
we-
Dave.
So I'm trying to figure out like I guess I should just open them like I normally would and
Jumbo
just open,
Elites.
like just do Jumbo Elites right now. or
Jumbo
do
Elite player
Mega-
pack, like maybe mathematically isn't correct, but I've talked to my Discord. If you guys aren't in my Discord, by the way, there's 4,000 people in it. It is by far the most active HUD Discord, and there's a lot of like just ranging level of players, and they're nutcases like Bagel Pizza Party's in there from
Oh, yeah.
Reddit. Yeah, and he's a crazy market guy.
Well,
So-
if you want to join a Discord with the most NHL,
No,
drama,
no.
you can,
Do
you
not
can
do
come
that.
To you can come to my Discord because I let everything go. It's a cesspool.
It is a
It is a mess.
It's a swamp in there. But anyway, so in there, I think we came to the like understanding that like mega players packs was always the play because
for Gretzky and all.
and
those
yeah,
guys,
not only that like a gold non-NHLer was still going for like 1,000 for a long
Yeah.
period of time, and now they go for like 700. So and you only get 580 and above. So that is kind of gone away. Jumbo Elite players packs are 1880 plus cards, two whatever it could be, whatever, 2 golds, and it's one collectible less than an ultimate pack, which is 2080 overall and above. So that's what I've been doing every week. I'm getting like 9 collectibles or whatever. I'm opening 3 of those packs. I sell everything that is 82 and below. I sell everything. And then I just keep everything 83 and above for Team of the Year. I was looking through my collection and I'm like, man, I'll be able to get a Team of the Year card. Bro, like, this is the event in which they will wipe out the collection of every single player. Like, I would love to see the number of cards traded in during this event. Like, I'm wondering if they have that, like, stat, because it's got to be in the millions.
Wait, is it the Jumbo Elite pack or the Jumbo Elite Players pack?
The one that costs 3. Jumbo Elite Players pack.
Okay, so that's one more than a Mega Players pack.
Yeah, and it's one less than an Ultimate pack, but you get 18, 20, and 80 and above.
And you guys agree that you should like ripping them now because somebody Sky was saying like during Team of the Year they purposely like come out with like nothing, almost like besides the Team of the Year. That's like, for fun.
Yes. So like if you pull something that's like 88 and above, that is a good theory. I never thought of it like that. It kind of makes sense in that aspect because if you don't pull a Team of the Year, the odds of you pulling something very high rated are pretty low. Because at least if you pull like an MSP, I don't know. It's not gonna matter really. But I would go into the event without coins. Like I have 600,000 coins. Almost pulled the trigger on Mario. He's got down to 590,000 coins, and I almost just was like.
And in years past too, there's always an 88 set, but there's not an 89 set, right? I don't.
Well,
think
it depends on progression.
Maybe not 89.
I don't think
Last
there'll even
year
be
there was
88.
89. Yeah, it's potentially just 87s. Like
Yeah.
That would be the equivalent of last year.
Yeah, like because
But maybe it might do 88.
they
You
might.
never know,
It's
right?
plus
I
one
think
every
they'll do
month.
88.
It's plus one every month, and I don't know if they
I
would let it
wouldn't-
go up.
I would not invest in 88s because you
would
never
not.
know. You don't want to get shafted on that. Not for
Yeah.
this event. You don't want to be screwing around with your coins. Like for me, okay, on Christmas Day, none of the 83s went down. None of the 84s, 85s, 86s,
87s
87s.
did.
Nothing.
Oh.
87s. Oh, they did a little bit.
Yeah.
But the 82s
Yeah.
is where I made all of my all my value in. 82s were going for 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took 700K and I bought 782s.
How long did that take you?
I was putting the baby to bed, so it took. I literally sat there and he was in his bouncer, and I'm bouncing, just buying away cards for 2 hours.
Oh my
and he's
God,
just sleeping
dude.
away. It took but I saved myself 200K in
Oh
value.
yeah, no, it was a great move. Just I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of how the menu works. Is just like
Oh yeah, no, it took me 2 hours to buy 700 cards. I'm just sitting there, just constantly and my mom was over for Christmas. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, You know, just grinding the market.
Yeah.
Got to keep the baby asleep.
I can't wait. Like as a creator, it's like this event sucks the fun out of like the whole game, dude. Like every video I make, every question I get is what do I do with Team of the Year, and because the event hasn't changed at all, it's like the game is just held up. You know, it's a super exciting time for the community. Like in the sense that regardless if you play GWC or if you play HUD at all, I mean, I had 4,000 viewers last year during the Team of the Year stream. So there's clearly a want and an interest, which is great. It's just like the second Team of the Year's gone, half the player base is probably gone. Like,
Well, that is peak. That's peak NHL
it
though,
is.
right there.
January is
'cause
peak.
you have
January.
all your Christmas guys are getting, or your Christmas casuals are getting into the game. So they're still gonna watch like your stuff now because they probably don't care that much about NHL content until they actually have the game. So that like January is like the apex of the game for the whole year, and then as soon as you start getting into February, it starts to taper off a bit with like your casuals starting to go play other things, and
Yep.
then your GWC guys, as soon as they get eliminated, they stop playing the game as much. So like they 100% they nailed it in terms of like timing because that's when everybody is playing the game.
100%. And
Every
it's a
casual, every diehard, every single guy's playing the game. Like that's why you're getting 4,000 views for that one stream.
Yep. I want to be clear. I have no idea like and I don't know if other game changers or not. I purposely said to like I want no hints, no nothing. So I'm going into the Team of the Year this year not knowing having and not that even in the past like they keep this stuff super secretive because it is a big marketing event. Like so they hide it pretty well. I have no idea and what's fun about this year is that I think there's 2 locks on forward and 2 of 3 defensemen, but it could be like any combo. Like the only one I'm 100% certain on is Allmark and then McDavid and McKinnon. And even
You're really are you that shocked or sure on McKinnon?
Dude, he
Yeah,
has
me too. I don't
125
know.
points this year. He has the most points in the entire league. If they don't give it to him, like I don't know, including playoffs. Like I don't know, but if the event is, we debate this all the time, and Padre thinks that like this year doesn't count at all, and I don't think that I think that it is counted much less, but I don't know if saying it doesn't count at all is I don't think a thing. Like I think that 0 chance Matthew Tkachuk gets it because he had an absolutely abysmal for his standards start to the year. Like maybe if it was a point per game or maybe he did something like okay, they could justify it because he had the best playoffs. But like McKinnon having the most points and then McDavid is for sure. I just don't see the argument. It would be such a I don't want to say bad look, but like it's like you can't be like, "Oh, this is for this calendar year." Like clearly it's not then. If the guy who has the most points in the NHL including playoffs, right? So, I don't know.
Well,
And
the biggest reason I would say in terms of why it's a lot more open now is because they went away with like the position lock, like your
which
best
was a
center,
good
best
move.
left winger bet, right? Oh yeah, 100%. Like
Yeah.
like last year was like the you guys can't like have like Marchand get it again instead of like Matthews.
There's
Like,
so
one
many
would-
centers.
No one would have wanted that.
Yeah.
Like clearly your centers. And they're the people that you want to see get Team of the Year. Every player that plays the game wanted Matthews to get it. They wanted McKinnon to get it. They don't want to get those 2 guys shafted every year because McDavid is just way too good.
Well, then if that's the case, then it'll be McKinnon, Draisaitl, and McDavid because
So
Draisaitl
the third one, that's what I meant. Like,
Draisaitl has 2 less points than McKinnon, and he had more of a playoff run than McKinnon did.
I think that it will not be Draisaitl. I think it'll be Pasternak. He has
I
the
don't
most
think it'll be-
goals.
They won't do they won't do 2 players from the same team. I think they'll try to
I
avoid
don't
that.
think that matters. They've had a season where they did 3. Lightning literally had half Team of the Year one year.
Oh, that is true. I
Yeah.
kind of forgot.
I don't think
about
that- I don't think it
No,
matters
is-
at all.
Yeah.
Like you know, I think that's what I'm saying. The third one, it could be Kucherov. It could be
Be a lot of guys.
It could be a lot, which is fun. Like I think that is like enjoyable. So that's why I was like,
no, that's what makes this year interesting.
Yeah.
Which is probably gonna like everybody's talking about because it's not so much of a lock as any other year.
yeah. And then like defense, it's two of Carlson, Quinn, and McCarr.
They will not snub Carlson.
Yeah.
They've never not had a Norris Trophy winner.
I
on
would
the
be
thing.
surprised. I don't know, man. Like because he's had
They've never not had a Norris Trophy winner though.
no, you're not wrong, but it's always been very easy because the Norris Trophy winners always dominated statistically over everyone else.
Well, he did. He had 100 points.
No, but he only had 50 Like at the,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
okay. I mean, I guess, but I mean,
He hasn't
he
had
had
a
100
great
points last
season
year.
in Pitt so far. He's had a
I mean,
okay one.
I want to get that like confirmed that they literally I want proof of that they actually like go into this whole year all the way until December whatever
That would be it.
70%.
That would be the proof. I think
If that's the case,
yeah.
I would be stunned
If
just knowing
if
how quick he
Kachuk
was.
does not get it, then they clearly go to December. Because if they didn't go that far into this year, Kachuk is easily one of the top 3. Like he had a pretty dominant run, you know, like and then like his playoff was just god tier, right? So and this year was pretty garbage. I think you can admit that his season this year so far has been
Well, I think they're
extremely
idiot. I think
underwhelming.
they're idiots in general. Whoever comes up with the nominees. I mean, I'll be blunt with you. Matthew Kachuk and Johnny
Oh, last
Gaudreau.
year we talked about that last year, yeah.
This is it's an absolute embarrassment that the year before last, Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Kachuk. Johnny Gaudreau had the second most points in the NHL. He had 115.
This is when they got traded or
This
signed.
Matthew Kachuk had 104 points. Both of them were not nominees
Mhm.
for their new teams, and even like if they went to their old teams, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew that I don't know what they like think is important.
That's why
If
I
it's,
think
like,
this year
just-
is so
If it's just selling packs, then yeah, last year they hit the nail on the head. They had the 3 most popular forwards: McKinnon, Matthews, and McDavid.
yes.
And they made it nice and easy.
Yeah.
This year, if they're doing the same kind of thing, then they might as well do Matthews, McKinnon, McDavid again. I mean,
That's why,
those
yeah.
are still,
If Matthews,
you know, I mean,
imagine Matthews gets it
Matthews-
again after his like down
I mean,
year. Like,
Matthews is on a rampage right now too.
this year,
so it's
yeah.
like,
That's
so it's like if you're
interesting.
factoring in this year, like I want to like figure like if they could like clarify like when they stop counting it, then that would be like. Really
I don't think they
helpful.
can do that because like it's a
Yeah.
marketing thing, right? So like clearly they have to stop because there's like you've mentioned this before, like they send out the equipment and they get all that stuff. That even the card art, I said that like a fix would be make all the nominees have card art, even if you're not going to
Yeah.
use them as master sets, and maybe like their like nominee cards or something. Like team of the year card should maybe they're nominees so they get like an 85 or like an 86, and they've got like 3 times synergies like a team of the year would that wins. Like something
Yeah.
like that, and they don't go up in value, right? But like that would be a way to utilize and not worry about the okay, we've got to, you know, my guess is that it's early December is when the cutoff is. That would be my guess. It's just like logistically, you have to like think logically that they can't go all the way to December 31st because it's a marketing thing. So they have to like prepare well out in front. Like they have to have some sort of run. Because they can't just get all of, like the stuff for like commercials and things like that or social media. Wouldn't be able to. So it'll be interesting.
Well, actually, Kucherov doesn't he have like more points than McKinnon and Draisaitl from like last year and this year combined?
If it's like 1 or 2, it happened over the last 3 days, right before the
Okay.
end of the season.
'Cause I'm looking right now. I think McKinnon has like 160 something, 165. Kucherov has 170.
I think you're looking at the wrong thing because it should be like 125 for McKinnon.
Well, I guess if
January
they're
1st,
cutting-
January 1st to now.
Oh, January.
Yeah,
I guess. Okay.
It's not the start of last season. Yeah. So he has the most. So it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. So yeah, we always get sidetracked on Team of the Year, but that's what happens around this time because it's like definitely the most exciting event. Because Team of the Season is just everyone gets a card. Like it's, you know what I mean, and it's like whatever, right? Like Team of the Year is so like succinct, and these cards have such an advantage over all the other cards. So let's talk about the free stuff we got. We get the holiday pack. Interesting choices. Not terrible, but I thought that like the Eurocheck when he already had a master set was just real
That
weird.
was a weird one.
But I forgot about that Eurocheck's next gen card. You can't make them anymore.
Oh,
So, like that maybe, but like there's so many good checks that you could have used. You know.
yeah. It frustrates me because I think Sabinajad also had a card
He did.
in years past,
It
and I
was-
made a
yeah.
joke on Twitter, like the Barkov MSP. We didn't talk about that earlier. Like, can we not come up with somebody else from Finland? Like, I understand he's got his hockey cage on when he played in the world. I get it, but there's like other Finns you could have done. Like, it's like I don't know. Like, I feel like you should never have the same MSPs for the same events. Too.
Yeah, I guess for the same. This, like I said,
That's
this is
like-
a restart of Nations of Hockey. Because I
Yeah.
agree with you in that, like, having the same MSP for the same event is, like, brutal. But, like, this was the first time that it was done right. Because the World Junior is the only thing that's going on right now. It's never a World Championship or Olympics, right? And it's always in the month of December. So the fact that they actually did Barkov in the World Juniors, like, I'll give you, but, like, I agree with you that it is kind of lame in that sense, yes.
Well,
But
I think even like Hosa, I think he even had like an event card. It might have been even like the year before last, and it's the same kind of thing, which was like a free Christmas card.
mm-hmm.
Like I think it was like similar.
It could have been
Um,
Yager
I
for
I know Zabinajad for sure had an
Zabinja
event
didn't have
card
one. Yes, he did.
or a Christmas card just like this.
Yeah.
Who did you guys take? I took Seth Jones because I think we were lacking right-handed defenseman, and he has gold quick pick. And I kind of going back to like real quick, like with the way the game plays, I feel like when they sped it up, it made the forces kind of the same. Like I'm not saying they don't pick off the passes, but it's like because of how fast it is, it's like you're still able to do it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like I know that they block more if they're like facing it at least, but I don't know, whatever. So that's a whole nother topic. But I went with Seth Jones, and I'm using quick pick, and I love him so far. I think he's really good.
No, I went with Koivu because I wanted his 99 draws as a situational player. If I want to throw him in my lineup as my 4C,
he's not gonna be on your
number
team.
1 PK. Yeah, none of these
Wouldn't
guys
you
are gonna be
just
on my
have
team.
rather to get Messier?
I mean, I'm not getting Messier either. I don't
No,
think
but
my team is so log jammed.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you have the that's just what happens when you're a whale. I've been there. I've been there when like it's not exciting. Like the free holiday pack is like exciting to everyone except for the people that spend 1,000 on the game. Like I've been there before. I went. I think that I did a ranking thing when it first came out, and God, EA just put it out at 10 in the morning for me. I literally had to have my alarm because I knew they would do it. 3 in the morning Eastern time because it's 12 a.m. Pacific. I literally 3:01 get up and I'm like, ugh. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I gotta go to work." 4 in the morning. I'm like down there recording a video. But I Seth Jones is definitely the number one option. I think that if you have a coin and X Factor Makar, that's where you could go somewhere else. I took Zabinajad specifically because I don't think for free-to-play players it's worth having one of those three as your third pairing defenseman. Whereas right-handed wingers, there is a lot of good ones, but they are extremely expensive. Like the odds of you having multiple of the best is a lot less than having a coin and Makar. Maybe I don't know. The situation I was in, my second line right-handed winger was Ovi. So I was like, okay, I'll go with
That's tough.
Yeah, well, yeah, like because I don't have Mario, right? If I would have had Mario, then like okay, like because then Mario and Shanahan, and then it's like okay, Zabinajad third line, then like it is what it is, right? It's interesting that you went Koivu. It's also interesting that they didn't give us a left-handed defenseman or a goalie. First time they didn't go all positions, which a little weird.
I think this is national crap on the content guy day because he seems to he misses a little bit here and there. Why does he not have a left-handed D man? It's just a little bit lazy. It seems with the sometimes we got our 8th Noah Dobson. Thank you for that. We all needed that guy. Oh my God. I don't want to go into too much for a rant because it's a guy that has a job and stuff. I'm not. But Jesus, man, this guy is just. It seems to be okay. What am I going to just crap out today?
It's funny because when I saw that there was no left-handed defenseman, I immediately was like, it's because he's listening to everyone say that we had too many left-handed defensemen in every single event leading up to this one, and he was like, oh well, if that's the case, here's 2 right-handed defensemen, which I like.
Then he throws check.
Yeah, but then he throws. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So like, I give him props that okay,
man,
yes,
one job.
You're acknowledging the mix, the issue that we didn't have a right defenseman for like a month. That was like of master set. I went and looked on HUD Hub. Cheap plug. There was if you go and search by highest overall defenseman, if you don't have Doughty or Bonk, and let's say 99.9% of the community doesn't have them, it's Makar and a coin, and then like an Adam Fox, and then like an 88 and below. Like there's no top end.
Top 3 right now is Makar, O'Coin, Doughty. Those are your top 3, and like
and
lefties
Jones,
is and Jones now, yeah, and then your lefties is Regier, Mitchell, probably still Bobby Orr.
Close, yeah,
and Quinn Hughes. Those are your kind of like interchangeably those guys. Yeah. So,
but there's also like a million mid tier guys because you got like Bork and all those like captain ones, and so there's just so many more options among left defensemen. So, the Natchez, though, was at my family dinner, wasn't anticipating, and we got hit with a banger. Props to them. I think that was...
I take it back, okay? You did a great job, Mr. Content Creator guy.
That was...
Good job. You got your W. You're allowed to have your W once in a while. I'll give you props for that one.
It was, so they did a Giroux thing where they used live moments, which I think is great. They also made it very difficult for a lot of the player base, which I think that's the correct way to do it. You can't just.
Uh,
No, I disagree, man. That is the best card.
Dude, they do it. They make it hard in the wrong ways.
Okay, then how should they
They
make it
don't
harder?
make it because they make your players like they're like mini mites. Your other players you're
Oh
playing
yeah,
with.
you're on arcade. Yeah.
If you're gonna make it like hard, make it hard like you have to score like way more goals, or you have to score like you have a thing where it's like score bottom right goals. Well, guess what? It doesn't even register correctly most of the time. So it's like that you're fighting A, the game. B, your players suck that you play with. Oh, you got to get assists with, like you got to get assists with natures. Well, guess what? You're making us play against Mad Sogard, 6'9".
But that made
goalie
sense
that's
for the
in whole
moment.
net.
Yeah.
I get it, but my point is they make it hard in the wrong way. Make it hard in like a way where it's like you have to score more goals, you have to do more, like you have to do a mission, like do it things like where I don't know, like the way that they're doing it though, it's like the way they did it was dumb in my opinion. Like because the players you play with are literally horrible, like they're awful.
Were you able to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying like I'm thinking about people that aren't as good as I am, and I don't mean that in a braggadocious way, but it's like there's probably people that like are in like
100%.
Div 7, 8, 9, 10 that they're sitting there just like I literally like read that Fasto Kid's tweet and he's like I bashed my controller over it. Like so, and I'm not saying it should be cakewalk. What I'm saying is they're making it hard in the wrong way. And I think that's annoying when it's like your players play like idiots and then you got to go against a 6'9" goalie with a bunch of guys that shoot muffins. And it's just like
I disagree. I think I'm on
yeah.
Sleeve's side with this
I think
one.
that,
'Cause
yeah.
You know what? You gate this good card. This card is nasty. You know what?
Yeah.
If you're not good enough to get this nasty card,
You can
go
also
pay
make
for
it.
it.
You can also make
You
it.
can pay
Yeah.
for this card.
No,
you can
I
make
think
this
it should be
card,
hard
make
to
up your
get.
collectibles.
I think it
If
should be
you're-
hard to get. I think it should be
A
hard to
good
get.
player gets this card. A guy that can't do anything on superstar mode, too bad. You can't play that one.
The
You gotta pay
one-
the other.
Dude,
The one thing I
problem
really
is,
don't
though,
like-
the computers crush your
Yes, it's on
idiotic
that I don't
players.
like.
It was hard for me. It was difficult for me.
No,
I
but it's hard.
I go
I
18
know.
to
I
hutch
agree.
house
But
every
it's not.
week.
It's not hard for you if the game plays like normal. If they had something different to make it harder. What I'm saying is that they make it hard because they put it on. I guess arcade. That's what you said.
That's
put it
what
like-
the issue
Oh,
is.
yes, it is.
problem.
Yeah.
So don't put it on arcade.
That's what.
Put it
Yes.
on whatever. But
so
change
that's.
change the stats. Like make it like I don't know. Like
I'm
No,
cool if
I
they
love
leave
that
it.
They
The
gated
stats.
it. I love
like,
that they didn't just.
but they
I
need
love
to
that
make
this
it.
is not a pure freebie. I love that.
But
I think
they
did
need-
a good job with making it difficult.
They need to take it off arcade because I don't understand why they want every game mode to play the same, but then in hut there's multiple things that play differently. It should not be on arcade because that makes it 10 times more difficult. And to what Padre's saying in a not accurate sense, the goal scoring and all that stuff I don't care about. The issue is the hitting because you can't let a guy come close to you or you're tossed aside. So if they made it more like this, like less arcadey to what we actually play in squad battles and hut champs, then it is perfect to me.
well,
Like,
or make us have to do 15 or 20 moments.
that's
I
not the
don't
real.
care.
Oh, I guess yes.
Because
okay,
here's
yeah.
the thing, in MLB, like everyone's like blowing them off over this. Cool, we got a free card. I don't really care. I'll be dead honest with you. This is our second free card from Moments. Guess what? In MLB, I get free cards every freaking week.
That's
every
more of a-
moment. But it doesn't matter. You could give us 82s. I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. We got the nations. Okay, thanks. But guess what? Like, this is the second free card we got for doing moments. The moments thing has not been utilized hardly at all.
I agree with that. I agree with
There
that.
could be 82s.
There's challenges with the little fairy dust kind of
They could
sprinkled on top.
They could give you 82s. They could give you 83s. They could give you 79s. I don't know. Whatever numbers you want to come up with. In MLB, I get stuff all the time, every week for moments for player. I mean, I just go down the list. You get cards, and it's so like normal. You almost forget that you're getting cards. Like, do you not sleeves? Like you're like sitting there like, oh, it's got another card.
That's
Oh,
a
it's got another card.
fundamental thing about the
When we're on
mode.
here, we're like popping off streamers, like, oh, Nature's, oh, Giroux, here we go. We got another one. Like, I get it. Like, it's great. And I'm saying, like,
I think you're
like,
bah humbugging this.
that's a great card. I'm just saying, like, the moments in general, I just don't think they utilize it correctly. I
They
said that all
don't.
year, though.
They do not. They do not utilize it like, incorrectly. But like the difficulty of it, I am okay with as long as they switch the arcade thing. That makes
Yeah, that's
that
what I
one
was
I
just
don't
about.
like because yeah, you're
I'm not
right.
saying
That,
it should
that
be
is-
easy. I think it should be like if you're gonna take it off arcade, then make it 20 moments. I don't care. It's an 89 MSP. Like that's fine. Like
It was
arguably
wild. They
the-
gave us like Giroux when he came out was like good but not great. Like when you got him, Brent, where did he play in your lineup?
I didn't even do the damn thing.
Okay, see, exactly. So, like, that's my point, right? This card, that you have a God Squad, and he will play where?
Probably like my first he's in my top 6.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like this thing was made very well. And if they keep doing this, but they won't. So,
no, this is definitely our Christmas. This is the Christmas card here. This is like your here you guys go. Here's your super like sick card. This card will be like in your lineup, like probably until like March minimum. March.
Yeah,
he's that good of a card. Like he can play your bottom 6 because he's 6'2".
Mm-hmm. No, I think they
speed.
did.
He doesn't go anywhere for a long time.
I think they did. I think they did all right with that.
So like to be clear, great card. I'm not bitching about the free card. I'm just saying the moments, like the two bugaboos I have with it is the fact that like things don't register and it's on arcade.
that is still an issue.
And then the fact that the moments in general, like this is our second free card. I don't care if we got 80 choose. It'd be nice, like for example, like that captain's event. I know you got like the David Backus and the Guy Carbonneau and the objectives.
It shouldn't be cool in Hut Rush.
It would be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool if you could get more 82s by doing moments, right? So like on top of Backus and Carbonneau, maybe you get like the I don't remember, like I don't remember who it was. Yeah, like any of those, right? Like so, just more things to help you get those objectives done, which is like it turns into fodder and it turns into junk at the end of the day. So who cares? Yeah. But like that's a lot. Like you go to like my God, dude. If somebody sat there and did all the moments, you know how many packs and coins you could rack up? I mean, it's crazy. Not saying they're good packs, but they're.
Oh, like, you could definitely like if someone had not done any of the moments from like all the past events, like you could.
By the way, me and Brent, we came up with like we were sitting there yesterday just like for fun. We were talking, and I was thinking about this the other day. Like, and this is just like an outlier thing. It doesn't really matter. I was talking about like, what if you had a team full of X Factors?
Yeah.
And all you did was use X Factor. So your first line would be like Eichel, Crosby, McDavid.
Okay.
Your second line would be, I mean, I guess if you're including the girls, like I mean, Hillary Knight might be like the second. Like I did like Panarin, right?
Yeah.
Or Ovechkin. And then your center would be Point, and then your winger would be Jack Hughes, and then like just go down the lineup, like so on and so on, right? And then your defenseman, like it's pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
Makar for your righties, Seth Jones because he got the bump.
Yeah.
Doughty.
Oh, I didn't think
the righties are stacked. Yeah, lefties, Quinn Hughes, Yossi, and I guess if you want to do like Josh Morrissey or you want to do Darlene, like one of them, right?
What's the cost?
No, so I was thinking about this. Like, what if you just played the game that way, right? Like, you just did X Factors and every week in Hut Champs, or you just put everything into Power Ups. Like, your team would be like, it wouldn't be that bad of a team, and like, but it would take the like
you'd
fun.
Have to be a pretty good player out of.
You'd have to, because like you'd have to get Hut Champs collectibles for that, because you would need like come January. Like, I have a hard time upgrading. I'm gonna have to burn a Hut Champs week for Eichel and Hughes to get them to where they are, I think. But like that'd be interesting. But
remember Josh did that. Josh did that the first year of X Factors, and remember he eventually even was like, "Oh, this doesn't work," and he kind of quit out of doing
That's
it.
True. That's a good point. I just thought about it yesterday. I was like, you know what? Like a lot of the good cards in the game are like the X Factors, honestly.
And it's the year that they put the emphasis on like these are just the cards for the team, like every team that gets, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Hurdle's creeping up there. My dude has been one of the hottest goal scorers in the show.
If you have his X Factor, do not re-roll him.
I agree. All right, fellas, that'll do it for this week's Coffee and Chel. Again, all the listeners out there, apologize for the lack of episodes over the last little while, but we'll be back once a week, I think. Go ahead.
Oh, by the way, the reason why I'm wearing this hoodie, because I mean, I really just bought the hoodie because I was in Montreal and I was at the game. But I feel like if I wear this hoodie, maybe I'll get some of the QC luck that they all get when we play the game.
Oh, God. All right. Nice. Way to trigger that fan base. All right. And with that, episode 86 comes to a close. Have a good one, fellas.